a tiara worth more than a mother's love. Sounds like a metaphor? It's not. This is a real story that happened at a royal wedding. A mother was ready to turn her back on her own daughter. For what? For a crown, for an ornament, for the chance to wear sparkling diamonds on the most ceremonial day. Picture this, a bride preparing for the altar, and her own mother demands she hand over the tiara. Doesn't ask, demands. What could make a woman forget about her own child's happiness? What power lies hidden in this crown? And why is this particular piece capable of tearing apart even the strongest family bonds? The truth will turn out to be even more shocking than you can imagine. 2 women, 1 wedding, 1 tiara, and a scandal that nearly erupted right inside the royal family, July 2020. Princess Beatrice is preparing for her wedding, and she's offered the legendary Queen Mary Fringe tiara, a magnificent creation of silver, gold, and diamonds passed down through generations. But there's one problem. Her mother, Sarah, wants to wear that very same tiara. Imagine this scene. Mother and daughter, both from the royal family, both claiming the same piece on the same day. Tensions rise, conversations become strained, and all this over a crown worth $6 million. You might ask, could anyone really fight with their own family over some tiara? But this isn't just jewelry. Behind this creation lies a story spanning an entire century, a story that has linked the destinies of 5 generations of the royal family. And to understand why this crown can stir such emotions, we need to travel back in time. 5 generations. Just imagine. 5 times this tiara passed from mother to daughter, from grandmother to granddaughter. 5 times it was worn at ceremonial events, and 3 times it adorned the head of a royal bride on the most important day of her life. November 1947. Princess Elizabeth, the future Queen of Great Britain, walks to the altar to join her life with Philip Mountbatten. On her head, the fringe tiara, created for her great-grandmother. 26 years later, in November 1973, Princess Anne wears this same crown for her wedding to Mark Phillips. The ornament once again witnesses a royal vow. And then July 2020, Princess Beatrice marries Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi in Windsor. And once again on her head, that very tiara that had already blessed 2 royal marriages, 3 weddings, 3 generations of brides, 1 crown. The legendary jeweler Garrard created this marvel 100 years ago. But the tiara isn't just a beautiful trinket, it's a symbol of continuity, a symbol that royal power passes forward from heart to heart, from crown to crown. And then something interesting happened. The true story of this tiara remained a mystery for nearly an entire century. No one knew all the details of its creation with certainty, until something occurred that changed everything. A phone call. An ordinary phone call that turned the history of royal jewels upside down. Sarah Prentice, creative director of jeweler Garrard, picks up the receiver. On the other end, a representative from Windsor Castle, and what she hears makes her heart beat faster. Lost royal ledgers have been found. For years, these records were thought to have vanished forever. 2 massive volumes in leather and brass binding, handwritten in exquisite, flowing script. In them, every commission, every repair, every piece created for the royal family since 1843. It was in 1843 that Queen Victoria appointed Garrard as the first official crown jeweler. And from that moment, the records began. Sarah Prentice personally travels to retrieve the books. She holds these volumes in her hands and realizes, before her lies a true treasure. This isn't just bookkeeping. This is a diary of royal desires, whims, and passions. Here are recorded the gifts given by kings and queens. Here are captured moments of joy and sorrow, weddings and coronations. It was such an exciting moment. Prentice recalls later. Garrard's archive had finally gained completeness. The history of royal heritage received its missing pages. 2 series of books, one for crowned heads, another for other members of the British royal family and representatives of other nations. And in these books lay secrets that shed light on the tiara's fate. The next owner would change the ornament's destiny forever. And her name was written in these books in the golden letters of history. Some women collect shoes, others collect handbags, but Queen Mary collected diamonds. Art historian Hugh Roberts, in his book The Queen's Diamonds, published in 2012, describes her obsession this way: a keen appreciation of jewelry and recognition of its most important ceremonial role in the life of the monarchy. For Mary, jewels weren't just ornaments. This was power embodied in stone. 1893. Young Mary marries the Duke of York, the future King George V. And from this moment, diamonds and pearls become part of her public image. She appears at receptions, ceremonies, official events, and always in the brilliance of precious stones. But Mary didn't just wear jewelry, she remade it. Heavy old Victorian pieces she transformed into modern, comfortable, elegant creations. She understood. Fashion changes, and jewels must change with it. And now we come to the main point. November 3rd, 1919. 9 years have passed since Mary's husband ascended to the throne, and on this day, an entry appears in Garrard's main ledger that will go down in history. To set 633 brilliants and 271 rose-cut diamonds from Your Majesty's tiara, bracelet, and cipher in gold and silver settings into a tiara of Russian pattern with adjustable frame, allowing for use of old settings. 904 diamonds, gold and silver, and mysterious words, Russian pattern. What did this mean? Where did this design come from in a British crown? Russia, late 19th century. There, in the cold halls of imperial palaces, they wore special headdresses, kokoshniks, tall, wide crowns decorated with precious stones, worn on the very top of the head. And suddenly this Russian tradition became fashionable in Western Europe. Queens and princesses wanted to wear tiaras in the kokoshnik style. It's exotic, it's unusual, it's beautiful. At the origins of this fashion stood Queen Alexandra, Mary's mother-in-law. 1888, the silver anniversary of her wedding. She's offered to choose the design of a gift that Garrard will create, and she makes an unexpected decision to copy the kokoshnik of her sister, Russian Empress Maria Feodorovna. This is how Russian style penetrated the heart of the British royal family. But that's not all. Queen Mary's tiara was created on the same principle, only smaller in size. 47 tapering bars of brilliant and rose-cut diamonds alternate with smaller spikes of diamonds in diamond-shaped settings. The result is an elegant creation, easier to wear than Alexandra's massive crown. Documents reveal an unexpected turn. The tiara wasn't conceived simply as a hair ornament. It has a secret, a clever construction that makes it truly unique. Imagine an ornament that can be both a crown and a necklace at the same time. All 47 diamond bars are mounted on a special frame, and from this frame, the tiara can be removed, literally unclipped, like a clasp. And then the crown transforms into a magnificent necklace that shines on the neck just as brilliantly as on the head. Such transformers were popular in the early 20th century. Jewelers of that time loved creating versatile pieces. It's practical, it's elegant, and it allows one piece to play different roles in different situations. 1937. Queen Mary gives the tiara to Queen Mother Elizabeth. The transfer of jewels from one generation to another is always a moment of special importance. This isn't just a gift. It's a transfer of responsibility, a transfer of history, a transfer of tradition. And 10 years later, something will happen that makes this tiara truly legendary. and its clever construction will play the main role in one of the most dramatic stories in royal family life. November 1947, in Tours. The most anticipated wedding in post-war Britain. Princess Elizabeth is marrying Philip Mountbatten. The entire country holds its breath. Millions of people follow the preparation for the celebration. The Queen Mother lends her daughter the fringe tiara. The bride will be magnificent in this crown that has seen so many generations of the royal family. Wedding morning. Princess Elizabeth is getting dressed. She's wearing a magnificent gown. Around her bustle, assistants, stylists, courtiers. The atmosphere is ceremonial and joyful. And now comes the moment to put on the tiara. And now, the truth about what happened next. The clasp, whose existence no one suspected, suddenly breaks apart, right on the bride's head. 47 bars of diamonds begin to separate. The tiara literally falls to pieces. The clasp, which I didn't know existed, suddenly gave way. Elizabeth II herself recalled this moment many years later, in July 2011, when speaking with Catherine, Princess of Wales, during a viewing of the wedding dress exhibition at Buckingham Palace. She even gestured with her hands, showing how the tiara fell apart. Panic. What to do? The wedding is in a few hours. The bride can't walk to the altar with a broken crown. This is catastrophic. Fortunately, Garrod representatives are nearby. They're always present at royal events in case of emergencies. And now their hour has come. The jewelers work quickly. Every minute counts. They repair the clasp, check each bar of diamonds, make sure the construction is secure, and they succeed. The tiara is whole again. Princess Elizabeth puts it on and walks to the altar. The wedding took place. None of the guests even guessed about the drama that played out behind the scenes. The most important part lay ahead. The tiara continued its journey through the decades, from one royal head to another. 1973. November again becomes the month of royal weddings. Princess Anne marries Mark Phillips, and the Queen Mother again lends the tiara, this time to her granddaughter. The crown has already survived one wedding catastrophe, but now it behaves flawlessly. No broken clasps, no surprises. Princess Anne looks magnificent, and the tiara crowns her head as if it were created specifically for this day. A decade later, the situation changed. 2002, the Queen Mother passes away. The tiara passes by inheritance to Elizabeth II, that very princess on whose head the clasp once broke on her wedding day. Photographs captured an important moment. 2011. The Queen wears the tiara for an official portrait in honor of the Diamond Jubilee. Photographer Julian Calder shoots her in the blue drawing room of Buckingham Palace. The portrait is intended for the Governor-General of New Zealand. This is a rare public appearance of the tiara. In recent years, the Queen wore it infrequently. The crown seemed to be waiting for its moment. And then a new heroine appears in this story. 2020 July. Princess Beatrice is preparing for her wedding to Edoardo Mapelli Mozzi. The ceremony will take place in Windsor, and she's offered Queen Mary's tiara. That very situation we talked about at the very beginning. Beatrice's mother, Sarah, also wants this crown. But in the end, the tiara goes to the bride. This is right. This is tradition. After all, this crown is for royal brides. Beatrice walks to the altar, and on her head shines an ornament that's already 100 years old. The third royal wedding for this tiara. The third blessing. The third love story. Today, an archival copy of the tiara is displayed in Garrard's London shop, in a room called the Queen Mary Room. This name was given with the monarch's permission in honor of the Queen's visit to the jeweller's house on Albemarle Street. Stories and emotions often lie at the foundation of jewelry, especially pieces passed down through generations. But few ornaments can compare with this tiara in romance and significance. 3 royal brides on the most important day of their lives. a century-long story of love, traditions, and family bonds. 904 diamonds that witnessed joy and panic, triumph and drama. And all of this in one crown that once nearly tore a family apart, but instead bound it even tighter. There you have it, the real story. No betrayal, no greed, just two women who both wanted to wear a legendary tiara to one event. Yes, the moment was tense, but isn't that human? In the end, the crown went to the bride, as tradition demands. And the family remained a family. The beauty of this story isn't in scandal, but in how one ornament connected 5 generations of royal brides. Think about it. How much love, joy, and ceremonial moments has this tiara witnessed in 100 years? If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel to learn the truth about the most famous royal jewels. Click the bell, and you won't miss new revelations. So many incredible stories about crowns that change destinies lie ahead. See you in the next episode.